Hello. You can call me Grim. Consider me your guide in the darkness. Now, grab your cookies as we sink into another episode of Grim and Ghostly. What is a cryptid? You've probably heard them mentioned before, but do you know what they really are? In this episode of Grim and Ghostly, I will break down the basics of what a cryptid is. Where do they come from, and why they even exist? By definition, a cryptid is an animal whose survival or even existence is unsubstantiated or even questionable. Some common examples of cryptids are the Mothman, Sasquatch, the Loch Ness Monster, and so many more. While these creatures' existence is not proven, they remain legends. They are subject built by folklore and eyewitness accounts. This is a subject analyzed by many. Those who specialize in it are called cryptozoologists. Many consider cryptozoology to be questionable science, as it primarily relies on anecdotal evidence. Regardless, these researchers work to find proof that these creatures exist. With this being said, it is thanks to cryptozoologists that some animals that were once thought to be cryptids were discovered as real species, such as the platypus and the Komodo dragon. There are certain characteristics associated with cryptids. Some of these include the unproven existence, to be sorted and supported by stories and folklore, and non-conventional science. They are often integrated in the history and culture of these places that they are thought to live. They are also supported by common threads, repeating stories that consist across cultures and lands. Cryptids are also broken down into different categories. Generally, they are categorized in a broad sense by things such as their believed habitat. These traits include forms such as bipedal apes, like the Bigfoot or Yetis. They can be humanoid, like the Jersey Devil, aquatic creatures, like the Loch Ness Monster, and even winged or aerial beings, like the Mothman. These categorized traits can often include mythical beings that come from certain cultures and folklore, like the Chupacabra or the Wendigo. So, where do cryptids come from? The history and diverse cultural significance of cryptids dates back to ancient times. With a history so deeply rooted in folklore from around the world, all with their own stories and tales of these unknown creatures. It is hard to peg down exactly when this started. For thousands of years, stories about these creatures have existed, from ancient myths like the Kraken to indigenous legends like the Sasquatch, as well as more modern day phenomena like the Loch Ness Monster or the Mothman, and so on, serving as cultural archetypes throughout history. Cryptids reflect the fears and the anxieties that are of our society, as well as how they explain the wonders of the unknown, the traditions and beliefs around them. Cryptids can also serve as a look into the importance of cultural spiritual narratives. Cryptids are a reflection of our fears, our anxieties, and their legends, and how their legends embody those fears. Take a brief touch on the Wendigo, a creature that is created from a spiritual greed as a person who has been stuck out in the wilderness resorts to eating their own. The desire for the flesh becomes their soul's purpose. In some cultures, the tales of the cryptid serves as tools to help teach moral guide and guides behavior or even promotes good behavior. Once again, we can look at the Wendigo as that is much of the moral of the legends. Starting in the early 21st century, cryptids gained increasing visibility in pop culture, such as TV, literature, and eventually the internet. This has created a new way of people learning about and discussing these mysterious and paranormal parts of life. This interest has grown so much that we now have crypto tourism, where areas with famous legends have cashed in and capitalized on the public's interest. A full tourism industry driven by lore. It is clear that even as these stories evolve, the persistence of the legends shows the vital role they still play in the communal storytelling and the enduring fascination by humans with these creatures that challenge our understanding of the world around us. With all of this being said, there is so much to be questioned about the world of cryptids. Many would be happy to view it in the dismissive perspective. However, look out on the internet, look out on people's stories, and there is a plethora of these tales of first-hand encounters. There are endless examples of these encounters. People with multiple perspectives from different people from different angles. People from respected fields that have had these encounters and experiences. We will continue to search and see what we can find in these tales and the lore of cryptids, and so much more as we proceed on Grim and Ghostly. Now, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications so that you catch up on our next video. Now, turn off your lights, look into the shadows, listen to the whispers, and I'll see you on the next Grim and Ghostly.